everyone, welcome to another show. I'm going to talk about something tonight that some of you might get a little uncomfortable in your seat, and some people I know that are watching this for the first time might be a little surprised about what I'm about to tell you. I go out every once in a while because, a guy's got to feel, a little love every once in a while, and there's 1,000 gay bars in New York City, which is crazy, 1,000 gay bars. I can't believe, there's one in, Louisville, Kentucky, and there's, 10 in Washington, D.C., and there's 1,000 here. Side note. Anyway, I have a friend that produces events. He neglected to tell me a few things about what the event was. To put it mildly, it was down in a basement, sort of divey club. Fun. It's a lot of fun. I like roaming around in those places and getting a little, attention, if I'm lucky. And I was going down the staircase. I paid the door fee, and there was a coat check down at the bottom. And I went down and down and down, and then around the corner and through deep into the bowels of this building, and saw a few people I know going up and down the stairs. And when I get down to the coat check around the corner, it said clothes check, which I thought, oh, clothes? Like jackets? No, clothes. And then it all came together when 6 men, 1 woman, and 1 transgender male, female came walking through the hallway I was in, and they were all completely naked. Some of them didn't have shoes, and some of them had high heels, and some of them were all dressed, or all makeup and all done up and hair, but they were naked. So listen, even someone like me who's been around a bit and has lived in New York City for a decade, it's a little jarring when you go out in public and you see a bunch of, misfit toys being naked and dancing and being comfortable. So it took me by surprise. I'm not a nudist. I'm not someone who is embarrassed by nudity, but I'm not someone who seeks it out. So, needless to say, I was fully dressed in a 3-piece suit and a bow tie and coming from work, the opposite of most of the other guests at the event. My friend saw me and laughed and thought, oh, I forgot to tell you, it was naked. It was a naked party. The party was called Naked. So I gotta admit, the little bad boy inside of me my heart was fluttering because I was like, do I want to do this? Do I not want to do this? And let's just say I got to the bar, people I knew came around me. It's very open, very touchy, okay. And everyone tried to convince me to take my clothes off. I did take my jacket off and vest to try to get more comfortable. I did, converse with people and try to, feel the flow and get my mojo on. But that about 6 minutes later, I was completely naked, much to my surprise. You'd think someone who wasn't experienced in public nudity would be a bigger learning curve or transition or much more dramatic, but I have to tell you, once you're just naked in front of people and everyone's there's people overweight, people are too skinny, black, white, Asian, gay, straight, it was everybody. In New York, this is post-sexuality in this city. It's are you gay, are you straight, or this or that, are you a woman, are you a man? Are you between all of those? It really helps your self-esteem to just, be on the spectrum somewhere. You felt like it was just casual and you were having a conversation out on the street with clothing on and shaking hands, but at this place, you shake genitalia, okay? Which is, maybe it's not for everyone, but that really breaks the ice. Like when someone has your balls in their hands and you don't know their name yet, it's quite liberating. Literally liberating. I have to tell you, I changed in that moment. I'm not saying I became a different person. I'm saying the perception of what the hell goes on around you totally changed for me. I was like, wow, there's got to be other parties like this somewhere. This can't be the only one. Whoa, and when can I go to them? You know what I mean? I started going every week when they threw it. And on a serious note, it allowed me to, I'm in my mid-30s and I was insecure and I was, I'm getting older, my hair's thinning, and I'm gaining weight, and I was insecure about my body and wasn't feeling like anyone noticed me. And it's almost like behavioral therapy. I realized that all these other people who have different body shapes and sizes and all different, and some were sort of culturally and society accepted as beautiful in society, and some were just your average Joe or some woman that wasn't glamorous, and just naked people, and drag queens and transgender people with breasts and a penis. And that was eye-opening. I've seen transgender and drag queens and all that, but I've never seen anyone or gay men be nude all the time. What it taught me, on a serious note, is that it took shame away from my perception of my own body and my sexuality. And I got liberated from it in probably 4 weeks. And I still feel the effects of it. I'm always going to be a neurotic, insecure gay guy who doesn't think I'm good enough sometimes, okay? But that experience showed me directly that we're all equal, something I knew, but this was a proven science experiment. I realized that everyone was supporting one another, no one prejudged anybody. Some people were doing hanky-panky in places, some people were just normal and sweet. I met one guy who was asexual, like he's not any sexuality, but he enjoys being naked. What? I thought being naked was erotic for everybody. This guy just wanted to be cooler, I guess, right? Cooler.
A temperature thing?
A temperature thing. Yeah, because if he doesn't want to have sex with other human beings and is not any sexuality, but he wants to rock out with his cock out, that means that he obviously was a little hot and he needed to cool down.
Did you know that there's a colony of like-minded figures not too far from where we grew up in Paw Paw, West Virginia?
Oh yes, I've heard about this.
It goes back to the idea that this kind of thing happening in New York, and most people watching would assume, oh, it's New York, it's a New York thing. Well, touche, Paw Paw, West Virginia.
Yeah, it's not a New York thing. Listen, let's just get one thing straight. So, the way I talk about sexuality and being open and bodies and all that, I don't think anything more radical than anyone else, okay? That's the truth. So people that don't talk about it and they're ashamed and they don't have the courage yet to discuss it transparently, because sex and eroticism is all structured to have deep shame in our society, and through generations it's been taught to shame everyone around you and stay in shame. Well, Michael's not going to do that, okay?
Everybody feels the same. It's just you're being more opaque about it. You're making a YouTube video about it.
That's right. Hi, Grandma. Well, there's 2 naked parties. They're put on by 2 different people in the same bar. The one that this contest happened in was actually another one in the same place that was monthly. And they had a best dick contest, best dick in Brooklyn contest, which I was not volunteering to compete in because I don't want to intimidate anybody, haha. Basically, I was called up on stage and whatever, and my friend introduced me as welcome to the party, and then he indirectly entered me into the competition. I was standing there and I became one of the competition. I was naked. So there were a few other contestants, not that many, so I can't take credit too much, but there were 6 others, and I was the 7th, and I was voted best dick in Brooklyn. It's quite an honor. There's 1 million people there, 2 million, 3 million.
That's got to be a real ego trip.
Yeah, well, it was. I have to say, it was winning state championship in high school or whatever. It was a moment, but this is the kind of state championship I like to, I prefer. What happened with that is they gave me a keychain that was shaped as a penis in green and gold, like it was from a dollar store. Not complaining, thank you. It's in the china cabinet at my mother's. Sorry, Mom. I kept going to this party for a year. I'm back in New York now after leaving briefly, and I'm gonna have to go again. Any of you that want to come with me, I'm happy to show you. I would love to be your tour guide. It's a lot of fun, for real. We don't have to be inappropriate with each other. Platonic friends walking through a naked party. Thanks for listening, and hope this makes you think a little differently about our bodies, how we treat others, and how we are perceived in our world. Good night and good luck.